Yikes. Anyway. I really did enjoy Camp Cretaceous Season 3, even though people now think I have some sort of vendetta against it just because I didn't like one part of it. And that part happened to be a pretty big part. Hopefully this video will go down better since it's all positives, because some of y'all are even scarier than the Tyrannosaurus. Ooh, I almost forgot. This is your spoiler warning. I will be spoiling pretty much everything in Camp Cretaceous Season 3. So if you haven't seen it yet and you want to be surprised by it, click off this video, go watch it, have a good time, and then hopefully you'll come back and check out the video, see if we think alike. Everything I liked about Camp Cretaceous Season 3. The emotional turmoil of having to leave Bumpy behind. Aside from Darius, Bumpy is probably my favorite character, so I wouldn't want to leave her behind either. Might as well say it right off the bat, I really like Darius. He has a couple of funny lines and expressions, like this bit he does with Ben when he tries to figure out if he's okay. And overall, I think he's the funniest, the smartest, and has the best backstory. I like him. The shot of one gondola swinging because Kenji and Sammy are having the time of their lives, and the awkward juxtaposition with Brooklyn and Jazz's awkwardness was really funny. I enjoyed that. I laughed at that. E750 killing the Cerrado. Even though a lot of people were disappointed that the Cerrado didn't get a bigger role than it did, I do like that E750 sort of established its dominance by killing at least the Cerrado. And generally, I think the entire build-up to E750 was very well done. Just not E750 itself, once it's revealed. But I digress. The fact that they do use the poacher's boat from Season 2. I mentioned this before Season 3 even came out, that they would at least have to address it, and not only do they actually make it usable to the kids. That made me happy, because I think it would have been really contrived for the boat to be completely useless to them. The height of comedy. I relate to Ben here. This was funny. The entire Spoopy docks scene, including Kenji being an idiot because he thinks Darius and Brooklyn are trying to prank him, was a good scene to me. But especially the Tyrannosaurus. The explanation for their extreme aggression is flimsy but acceptable. In this scene, we also get the first of several callbacks to the Raptors in the kitchen scene. I really think they built that up nicely. The Tyrannosaurus following the boat in the water was where they pushed it for me in terms of the behavior given the explanation, but I really do like that attack in a vacuum and how they dealt with it. Legitimately, overall, it was one of the scariest scenes in the series, and I like that it's a herbivore, kind of like how in real life, actually most of the most dangerous animals on the savannah are herbivores. Shout out to some pretty cinematography here. This little scene with the first Monolophosaurus is absolutely hilarious. He's literally standing there like, they won't see me if I don't move. I also like the entire attack of the Monolophosaurus in the penthouse. And this is where we get another Raptors in the kitchen reference. And like I said, they are building that up until, of course, they finally just straight up recreate it later. And I think that was really clever. You see, whether you think it's just a kid show or not, it can still be well made and entertaining to more than just kids, and it shouldn't be punishable by death to hold it to a higher standard. While Camp Cretaceous is mostly aimed at kids, it's not like it's Dora the Explorer. It is actively trying to engage and entertain an older audience with references to the adult-aimed movies and other elements. But I digress. Also, more generally speaking, I like that Camp Cretaceous is introducing new dinosaur species. The only people who really still refer to the DPG website and other extended universe things are the fans. The creators don't hold themselves to those arbitrary lists, and I like that. Show me as many species as you can without it becoming a literal parade. I really enjoyed the little backstory they gave Kenji. Like, yeah, it was already obvious from previous seasons that he has issues wanting to please his dad, and that's why he is the way he is. But I like how it's done here, how he's dismissive of the drawing he made as a kid and points out all of his riches because he thinks that's his worth. Because that's probably what his dad always did to him. Nothing Kenji did was ever good enough. The only thing that is good enough is financial, or at least academic success. I relate to Kenji here. I got a genuine jump scare in the vents. The Monolophosaurus is properly scary, while still being kid-friendly, without having to look, you know, derpy. But I digress. I like all of the mini missions that the kids go on, like getting the gas, getting the compass, getting the antidote. It was a really good way of episodic storytelling and a good way to have the kids move about the island. This was funny in my opinion. Those instructions on the package actually matter bit. I really like that. Arbitrary weight is arbitrary, but they sell it to me with that joke. I like the entire part of this episode where they go after the compass to the original visitor center, where they of course run into Blue, with even a little nod to the original novel in how Hammond met his end. I wish they would have shown us more of the visitor center, but what they did show us I really enjoyed. I also like that they save Blue. Is that a separate point? I'll make it a separate point. I like Brooklyn giving Sammy the honors of the discovery here. The reveal of the broken tank and the realization that this dangerous Scorpius Rex that they've heard Dr. Wu talk about in his video logs is well done. There's no other way to put it. It's well done. By first showing it in the background in the video log and then showing it broken in the room with them, it was a good oh shit moment. Even though of course they already spoiled that for the viewers, they successfully managed to put me in their shoes and have that realization with them. E750's thermal vision creates some really cool shots. It was very well portrayed, and I like that. Darius using the time they have left on the island to go find the Gallimimus because it was his dad's favorite dinosaur is so sweet, and I can totally feel how much that means to him and how much he would have loved to have been able to share that with his father. This was kind of a magical moment and the kind of stuff I love seeing in any Jurassic franchise entry. Again, cinematography is really well done a lot of the time. It's also effectively scary. Almost like, I don't know, like the show might be trying to be more than just a kid's show, making it fair game to critique some of its shortcomings. But I digress. Cinematography A+. The fake-out small explosion before the big explosion was funny. Cliché done well. I love these paras in the first season, so I enjoyed seeing them again in season 3. I like the herd of Ankylosaurus protecting Bumpy. Even though they just met, they immediately protect the youngsters. Animals are better than humans. We do not deserve animals. Not even, or maybe especially, giant prehistoric living tanks. I love Bumpy. Bumpy is cool. This was funny. Also, wear your seatbelt, kids. It's a cute callback, it's a magical moment. Brachy is probably my second favorite dinosaur. Brachy is definitely my second favorite dinosaur. I loved it. I laughed my ass off at this. The Scorpius Rex trying to be cool and intimidating, and then slipping and getting angry at the Jeep for the slip. I thought that was really funny. But I think this thing is funny overall, so maybe the bit was not as comedic as I thought it was, but still. I relate to E750 here. Like, don't you ever bump your little toe against the leg of the coffee table and then blame the coffee table? No? Okay, moving on. I honestly forgot I was holding it. Funny, I like it. I love the raptors in the kitchen scene. It is my favorite scene in the entire franchise, so I do really like that they full-on recreated it here. My problems with E750 aside. And again, they perfectly built up to this by increasing the obviousness of the references to this scene in previous episodes. Thank God Ben decided at the last moment not to stay behind. As I was watching the season and obviously preparing to do some videos about it, I had paused the episode at that point before he came after the boat and had already written a paragraph about my thoughts about how insanely silly it is that he wanted to stay behind on the island, but thankfully he changed his mind so I could cross away that entire paragraph. Even though she is tacked on at the end, which is kind of wasteful, I always love me some Rexy. Rexy is awesome. We love Rexy. But I gotta say this, don't watch a show doing this, including hearing his bones crunch when she bites down, and then tell me I can't criticize E750 for being derpy because, oh, they had to make it derpy to make it kid-friendly. But I digress. I might be imagining things, but this expression she gives when she gets rocks thrown at her is very funny to me. Lucky guy! Chomp! That was hilarious. Also, fans of the channel will know that the cold open for Fallen Kingdom is one of my favorite scenes in the entire franchise, so I do like seeing it here. Would have been better in a season 4, but still, I like it. Another honestly funny moment, this Bracky casually calling out after causing the helicopter to crash, like, oh, oops, I can relate to this Bracky. This reveal that they're hanging facing down was so well done. Nice shot and genuinely tense. A lot of this stuff wouldn't be out of place in the movies. I like the berries showing up for this little cameo. They were a fan favorite from the previous season, they suffered a sad loss. So I like this, and I liked having another death in the kids show. True visionaries make the world better, not worse. Hopefully one day you'll understand that. Nice line, good burn, I approve. Wu not wanting the kids to be killed at the end, even though as far as he knows he is dooming them to death by leaving them, is very interesting, and I like that. It makes his character more complicated, makes him more, well, slightly more misguided scientist, thinking he's doing good work, God's work, as opposed to one-sided, evil for the sake of being evil villain. And it's very peculiar that they introduced that in this kids show. Oh my god, I'm upsetting people all over again. Finally, I really like that at the end of the season, they get off the island. Even before season 3 aired, I knew there would be more seasons given how insanely popular Camp Cretaceous is. But I dreaded the kids staying on the island much longer because at a certain point we fully exploited it as far as storytelling goes. So the next season promising a big change is pretty exciting. Best in Slot has a really interesting theory, and I truly hope that that theory comes true. He theorized in a recent video that due to whatever stowaway they have on board, they won't make it to the mainland, so they'll have to divert to Isla Sorna. Now before you point out a certain website from 2015, we've already established that the creators don't hold themselves to 6-year-old marketing material. And why should they? So Sorna offers a plethora of new dangers and new adventures, including, possibly, the Spinosaurus. I very, very much hope they take that route. And given that theory, I think that what's on board with them isn't that important. I don't think that's going to be a mysterious reveal, like a third E750. Oh god, please no. I think the point of this tease was just to show that this is not the end. This isn't the season 2 cliffhanger all over again where we have to speculate what it is, because I truly don't think that's what it's about, that's what matters. It's just to say, there's a threat on board so they won't make it to the mainland. So it might be something like a Monlophosaurus. You know, something we've already seen before, no big shocker. But I'll leave all of the speculations up to you guys in the comments. Let me know in a comment what you thought of Season 3 and what you think Season 4 will be about. I'm signing off, I'm going back to building parks and stuff. If you're into that, subscribe to the channel. If not, I hope to catch you again by the time Season 4 rolls out. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy Camp Cretaceous.